And I'm also going to share my screen because I've put most of the information in a PowerPoint for you. So we'll take a look at that and share this with everyone as well after the end of the meeting. So really appreciate everybody's coming today. This is a real unique event for us this year. We, have really struggled with how to make this work this year, but I'm hoping that this new hybrid event that we're going to try will be something that we look forward to in the future going forward. So um, anyway, we're glad to have you on the call today. This is the Texas CTO Clinic 2021. Unfortunately, we had to go virtual last year, so we moved a lot of things that we were going to do uh, to 2021, and in hopes that the COVID situation would be better. And it looks like it's getting a lot better, but we're still taking a lot of precautions at our event. We will be hybrid. Half of it will be at the Sheraton Georgetown, as we were the previous year in 2019. And but we'll only have about half of the participants on site because the hotel is still following some very strict social distancing guidelines there. So we'll chat about that in a minute. Our theme this year is EdTech Superheroes. We felt like that was a great thing that we needed to address this from this past year from the pandemic because so many of our tech people, I don't think they've had a break since last March. It's been really a big change in the work that they've been doing and having to get all of their networks and schools and equipment up and running for kids to make this remote learning work for them. So we feel like we have a lot of superheroes on our membership side and as well as a lot of superheroes with you all who've stepped in and really helped them get those solutions they needed at their schools very quickly. And I know it's been a challenge for everyone out there. And we are definitely looking forward to trying to get to see at least some of you this summer. Uh, Hopefully, everybody's working toward getting their vaccine if you haven't had it already. And we want to try to provide the safest environment that we can. So we did have in our registration, online registration system, we did have a list of various COVID protocols that we expect everyone to adhere to if they plan to be on site. And we really are limiting the number of people that we have. It's going to be about half of each, half the members and half the sponsors on site. So we really ask you to please only register 2 people if they're going to be on site. You can have unlimited people in the virtual part if you want to. We're trying to keep it as interactive as possible to engage the remote learners as well. But please send only 2 people on site. We really just will not have the space for them because of the social distancing rules. If the hotel opens it up in the next few weeks, we can probably go back and expand our registration, but at this point in time, we do not foresee that. So we do ask those, uh, if you would keep that to a minimum. Leslie, I'll answer your question. Last year, we had about 200 or so people, members, and about 200 or so vendors on site. That's kind of our typical registration that we have. I expect to have half those numbers this year, about 110 members and about 110 or so sponsors on site. So, but we've had great success with our virtual meetings this year. All of our meetings this past year were virtual, and we actually had higher registration for our virtual meetings than we've had for our face-to-face meetings in the past. So I do expect that our virtual participation will still be very high as well. So we will be able to share that with you. We have some exciting keynotes that will be there Sherry Raven from CASEL, which is the consortium of for social emotional learning, is going to be our keynote speaker the first day. We know that that's been a huge issue with remote learning this year, and we really felt like we wanted to address that, and she's going to talk about that in terms of helping kids as they navigate this new digital environment. And then the second day we have Tom, oh, my name blacking out, Tom Murray from uh, Future Ready Schools, and also Chelsea Waite from the Christensen Institute to talk about giving their ideas of what they see the future of school will look like after the pandemic is over. So we feel like we've got two great um, uh, uh, speakers that will be there and provide some interesting things for our people to think about, and some things we think we need to deal with right now, just beyond the technology that's there. Leslie, if your speaker is virtual, we won't count them in that number of on site, but we really ask that you send only 2 people. Um, we just won't have enough chairs for people, is the issue right now. So we are trying to do something new this year because we have this virtual environment. We are offering um, some special exhibit time twice a day, once in the morning and once right around lunchtime, where nothing's happening except the exhibit hall is there's a special dedicated time for you. So we will talk about that in a little bit later. But we want you to utilize that time, and we are going to try to be sending our members to come and visit you all in the exhibit hall at those times by encouraging them through some games and prizes that we will try to bring some traction, as well as on site. All the food is going to be in the exhibit hall, so they have to come through the exhibit hall to get any food that they had. David, there's only going to be 52 exhibitors, 52 tables. So we would project that there would be about 110 or so sponsors there as well. And we typically have about a 50-50 ratio of members to exhibitors. So we want to try to keep it at that rate as well. In terms of the layout of the conference, we are cutting back on the number of breakout rooms that are open at one time, simply because we have fewer people attending. We didn't feel like we needed as many sessions going on at the same time. But for those of you that are tier 1 sponsors, that's less that you'll be up against as you're doing your presentation as well. We do encourage our tier 1 sponsors that have that 30-minute speaking slot in the program to please bring a customer with you. It really enhances your presentation if they can add some advice to the member districts about how implementation went for them. So it really adds a lot of value to your presentation. So if you haven't done that already, I would reach out to a customer and see if they can help you present. And again, if they can't be there on site, I know some districts still are not allowing travel, or some sponsors companies won't allow them to travel yet. We can still handle them virtually in your presentation. So, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. Andrew, the customer presenter does not have to count. They can go through our regular registration for just a member, and if they're a non-member, that's okay. Let me know who that is, and I can send them a special a speaker code so they won't be charged for that. So that way we'll get them in there, but then that won't have to count against you. So let me know if you have you've already done that already. For some of you, let me know, and I could swap them over to the member or registration. We do need to know if any of your presenters are virtual, or if your whole team is going to be virtual to present for those 30-minute sessions, because We have to set that up slightly differently in the streaming platform that we're using through data projections this year. We had an RFP earlier this year for, or RFQ, whatever you want to call it, for some of our sponsors to help us with the streaming portion of our meeting this year. And Data Projections won that contract and have been working with us to get that ready. So we're going to go through that now and show you a little demo of what that's going to look like. So does anybody have any questions before I move on about any logistical things about the clinic? I'll try to answer some of those now. And we can go back over this again if you need some assistance. We do start the, I know y'all have been conversing with Mel about times for move-in and things like that. And we'll keep you posted again a little bit closer about times to move in and check out, and also things that you can bring. So Dakota, the platform that we're using, we're going to go ahead and set up Sched again, like we've done for all of our virtual meetings, so our participants can access the conference schedule through that, and we will have the links in Sched like we've had before, just similar to what we've done with Zoom. We'll have those links to Data Projections platform, which is called Devos, and it's we're going to show you a little bit about that right now. So I'm going to take you into just a couple screenshots about what Devos is going to look like once people log in through Sched, through the conference program platform. You'll see some icons as you come to the splash page about CTO Summer Clinic. There'll be a button here that'll say live sessions, and people can click on that to go to any live sessions that are happening right then at that moment. There'll be 4 breakout rooms listed, and you can pick which breakout room you want to go into to watch whatever session is live at that moment. The links for each session will be specific to a breakout room, so that they will be using that same link all day long. So as you log into that, if you click on the live sessions button, it's going to be the session that's happening at that point in time, even though it will be the same link for all those sessions in that room all day long. And also through Sched, we're doing the same thing. Having that link in Sched, people can click on the breakout session they want to go to, and it will take them directly to that live session of whatever's happening in that room at that time. Then the streaming platform, Data Projections, will be working to record every session that we're doing at the conference and post it almost immediately to our recorded pieces. So right after the session is over, they're getting the links up, and they will post all of the recordings to another place on the platform that says recorded sessions. So we'll have a button there, and you can see it looks like basically a YouTube channel with lots of thumbnail videos there. And the sessions will be named, so you can go back and click on a session in case you missed it. You can go back and watch the recording as well. And then the last button is the button for the virtual exhibit hall. And we wanted to walk you through that to show you what that's going to look like. So anybody can log in there and click on the button to see what the virtual exhibit hall will look like. So it kind of looks like this. This is a mock-up of it, and we will get everybody's logo up there and classify you by your tier 1, tier 2, or tier 3, which is virtual only. And so your logo would be up there, and then if you click on your logo, it will take you to another screen that tells more about your company. Now here's a little bit of stuff that we're gonna talk about right now, and some things that we need from you. So basically, there's a space here that you can post a YouTube video link or some link to a commercial or any kind of video that you might want to use to advertise your company's product and services. Um, we're asking for a link for this. Then it can be as short or as long as you want it to be because it will be hosted somewhere else. So anyway, that is um, uh, a, a link for a video for you. We also already have your company description that we will be loading into the platform so they can see what you've already sent us in terms of the company description. There's also, we're going to talk about this in a minute, about a virtual booth that um, you might want to take advantage of. Um, this will, anytime anybody views your site, it will record how many people have viewed your site, which is good for us and good for you because we can run a report at the end of the conference with the name and email of all the attendants who visited your page. And also, that's going to help us with any game that we offer our members. So that, again, we're trying to drive attendance to the virtual exhibit site as well by offering them some prizes if they go visit our sponsors. There's also a section for comments. If anybody wanted to ask you something, they can go down there and write a comment or ask a question or whatever. So that can be something that you can take a look at as you're talking with some of your people. And then the other thing that we're going to allow you to do this year is to so you can have some up to 2 downloadable files. So if you have any marketing material, like a PDF file that you'd like to share, or a PDF PowerPoint that you'd like to share with your customers, you can do that. We're limiting that to 2. But if that's something that you'd like to share, we can do that as well. And then we're also asking that you can share up to 2 live links. One of them could be your company website, and the other is this company virtual booth that we are going to talk about. And what we got this idea from some other conferences and from actually Data Projections. I think Sandy was the one that kind of gave us this idea that she had seen that if you would like to really help, provide some more information about your company live through a conferencing platform such as Zoom or Teams or WebEx, or whatever you use with your own company, you can provide a live link here as well. We'll paste it here in this virtual exhibit hall, but it needs to be a link that is outside of the hotel's system and outside of Data Projections. We want you to man a like a video conferencing platform on your own outside of our network within the hotel, so it's not taking up any of the bandwidth in the hotel. But they can click on this link and it will take them directly to whatever video conferencing platform you're using. You can host these special virtual exhibit chat times during our dedicated time, or if you prefer, just make up your own times that you're going to have somebody manning that time. You can see that Data Projections has put a little mock-up here that says they'll be on their Zoom booth from 10 to 12 on both days. So you can put it there. You can also put a description down here in the details of your virtual booth, right below your company description, to say, Chris Mitchell is going to be manning our virtual booth at so-and-so time. So click on the link above and you can be connected with him. And thank you, Sandy, for asking that. I would love for you all to jump in anytime to talk about some of those specific technical things about
I think you're doing great.
Devos. Okay. Um, so anyway, uh, those are the things that we need from you. I'm going to go over them again, but you kind of get the picture of what that's going to look like when people log in. I think it's going to be a great platform and something new that we hope will work for everybody. I think it looks pretty cool. And so here's what we need from you. And I'm going to remind you about these again. If you want to do this, you don't have to do this. It's just something we thought would help you with your marketing and to make our uh, virtual presence a little more interactive. But if you do, we would really like you to get all these things to us really quickly so we can make sure this gets built out so everybody can see. So here's the things that you need to send to us if you want to. One link to a video commercial, whatever marketing materials you want to use that you already have done in a video. It needs to be a link though. Up to 2 company marketing PDF documents. That can be whatever you want to do. If you feel like you have some information you want to send to your customers, and up to 2 external links, one to your website and one to your virtual exhibit space, whatever you want to use. You can use Zoom, you can use Teams, you can use WebEx, whatever conferencing platform that takes people. It's an external link, so it's not running through um, the hotel's um, network. So we're gonna we want you all to host that and you all to be in charge of that. And just let us know. We need to know what conferencing platform you'll be using. That's something you can tell your customers, and then the dates and times that your virtual booth will be open. So, and if you would please send all that information to Chris Mitchell and to Mel Forehand so that um, we're going to help each other manage this. And we would like for you to send all this information to us by May 1st if you can, because we're really trying to get this built out. Uh, the first couple of weeks in May, we want to make sure everything's up and running so that we can practice with all our virtual presenters. So we have several of um, the sites that are the presentations that are virtual only, and we need to get them online and practice with them. So let's see, Monique, here's the slide again, the previous slide. And I'll send you a copy of my PowerPoint presentation as well. So you'll have this as a reference as well. So anyway, just remember, we really would like this information. If you want to do this, yes, Kyle, I will send you a copy of this slide deck. Again, you don't have to do this, but we do think it will help you with your marketing and think it'd be a great addition to our virtual exhibit hall.
If I can jump in really, really quickly here to add on one other thing for the virtual booth pieces, and I know you did mention that we'll be able to see how many people viewed it and whatnot, but I was reading through the comments looking for questions. So if I missed it, Alice, if you said this, but at the end of the conference, we'll be able to run a report through the Devos platform for each of your videos to see who joined and watched it for the participants who are remote. So if they are watching it from their house in Dallas, you're going to know that John Smith watched your video 3 times from Dallas or whatever it may be. And you'll be able to get some names and their email address as that's how they'll be logging into the system. So it'll be very similar to someone coming by your booth and giving you and you guys scanning their badges or writing their information down. You're going to get their information if they came to your booth. So just wanted to make sure you guys are aware of that.
Yeah, I think that's great. Brittany asked a question. Chris, you may help me with this too. Because it says, will the in-person exhibitors have a virtual booth for virtual attendees? And I think that's what we said. We don't want people on site interacting with that. Correct me if I'm wrong, Chris.
Yeah, that's the one thing that we're trying to keep away from a little bit. So like, for example, if data projections, we're going to have a physical booth there. And if we want to have a virtual booth for people at home to be able to join, we would have one of our team members actually hosting the Zoom meeting that people can join from our corporate office in Houston. That way, someone's not in the booth or in the conference center area joining Zoom on the conference Wi-Fi, because as we all know, conference Wi-Fi at these kind of places are already is already tough, right? And because we're going to be streaming everything live, a lot of that bandwidth already is going to be kind of taken up by that as well. So we're trying to separate that via the networks with some network stuff, but anything that could slow it down, we want to keep that separate. So for your virtual booth, if you can have one of your team members who is not physically there run it, that would be great.
Thank you, Chris. You explained it better than I could. We are having dedicated internet connections in our breakout rooms because of the streaming. We just think that will help performance better as we stream these sessions out to our members. Dan had a question about the booths. Mel, you may want to jump in here if you can.
Yes, I just sent him a response.
Okay.
The space consists of a 6-foot table, and you can put up pop-up banners behind you. We're kind of, because of the social distancing, all the tables are going to be 6 feet apart from each other. So there's not going to be much space to, put up a full 6-foot or 10-foot pop-up booth like you do in exhibit halls. If you need power or internet service, that is a service that is provided directly from the Sheraton. And I have a service order form that if you need that form, I'll be happy to email it to you.
And Monique said she needed that as well. So
yeah, I'll just go ahead and send it to everyone in case they need it.
That sounds great. And the hotel already has carpet in the that ballroom area, so the carpet is already there. We're going to try something different again, because the last time we did our exhibit hall in the Sheraton, we left the wall between general session and the exhibit hall closed. This year we're going to leave it open. We're going to try this. We're going to see if it works. Because in past years, we just had a lot of noise from the exhibit hall, and it was kind of difficult to hear as those general sessions were going on. But because of our social distancing, we're going to have to ask that you stay at your tables during the general sessions because we don't have enough seats in the other side of the ballroom for everyone. We will be putting up a big screen in the exhibit hall, so you will be able to watch the general session from your space in the exhibit hall. If you need to move around a little, to get a better viewpoint, that's fine. But again, we're just asking people to keep that 6 foot of social distancing in mind. We would really appreciate your adherence to that. Let me think if there's anything else. Any other questions about what you need to send to us or specific things about the exhibit hall? We'll try to answer those. And again, we'll send you all of this information that you're seeing here, plus the recording of the meeting to share with your colleagues. Did want to go over one little piece again, that we will be having our silent auction on the Wednesday evening, as we usually have had our casino night for the past couple of years. But because of COVID, we have decided not to have anything that was so hands-on like casino night is, with cards and poker chips and things like that. So we decided not to have the casino night, but we will be having a silent auction reception. So, but all the silent auction prizes will be online. We will not have anything on site. I think most of you have been contacted so far by Diane Borison, who is the chair of our silent auction committee. If you haven't, if you've newly joined, I'll make sure she gets your information to send you something. We would love for you all to donate an item to the auction, something that people can can bid on online. We're using the tool called Bidding Owl. Um, and all of the prizes will be posted on there. If you have a photo that you could send to Diane, she's going to get those posted, and a value of how much the prize is worth. So we can send you um, a letter for your tax purposes. We're going to start. We're going to get this all built out as well. So we need those prizes very soon. You need to let Diane know if you're going to donate a prize for that. And that's going to be on June 1st. We're going to start opening up the bidding to anybody who's attending the clinic. And you can bid from anywhere you are, and we'll keep those open for about 2 weeks before the clinic. And then at the reception that night, of course, we're going to be promoting people getting online and bidding a lot. And then also it will close at 7 o'clock that evening when the reception closes. So anyway, we will keep that open. There is one thing that you will need a PayPal account to bid. So if you don't already have a PayPal account, we'll encourage people to get that done before the bidding starts. So Monique, max value we don't care. If we've had some really cool prizes in the past of things like vacations or renting an Airbnb or wine baskets or whatever you want to do that you think some of our people would bid on. No, what you're going to be doing is you're donating this to us as a nonprofit organization, and we will be turning this around and using them as prizes in our silent auction. So actually the prizes will come through us. So there's not a particular limit for schools. These people would not be bidding on using school district money anyway. This will be their personal money. And we also encourage sponsors to bid on these items too. We've had some great prizes in the past, and anyone is welcome to bid on any of these. Let's see, what else was I going to say about that? That all of this is for a good cause, because all proceeds from the silent auction go toward our student scholarship program. And we have been able to provide at least 2 student scholarships of $1,000 each to graduating seniors for the past several years. And we have started this as a way we can give back to our schools. And so everything that you bid on, it goes toward a good cause. So we just wanted to let y'all know that. So if you haven't got anything from Diane yet, I will make sure that she gets your contact information, and please think of some things that you could help donate to our cause. All right. Oh, I think I've already got that. Again, we want to thank you all for your continued support of our organization. And we know this has been a really tough year for everyone. And we are so looking forward to seeing some of you face to face and the rest of you online. And if you have any ideas of ways we could include fun games for our participants or making it more interactive, we'd love to hear your feedback about that. Some things you might have seen at other conferences, or just ideas that you might have to help engage our members with you as customers. And that's really all I had, unless anybody else has any other questions. We'll be happy to answer some of those, and we will be sending this out to everyone soon. And I will be sending everybody's confirmation date and time about your 30-minute session, those Tier 1 sponsors who have a 30-minute presentation. So And we'll be getting in touch with those who are doing a virtual presentation so we can practice. Any other questions? Well, again, thank you so much for coming today, and we look forward to seeing everyone in Georgetown, or a lot of y'all in Georgetown. So cross our fingers and hopefully that things will continue to get better, and we can even include more people in our conference. Thanks so much. We'll see y'all. Bye-bye.